Hi, welcome back to English for Communication 2. I'm Steve Judge, and today we're going to continue Healthy Lifestyles, Unit 2 of our series, and this is Lesson 2, Responding to Advice. Now, last unit we covered asking and giving advice. So here I want to go over some questions for you, some advice. How would you respond to these advice? If someone told you you must take vitamins, you could cut down on coffee, you shouldn't eat meat, if you sleep 5 hours a night, you could do more work. Now, this advice may be good, may be bad for you. You might have your own opinion on each of these different advice that is given. How would you respond? We often think about the future when we respond. So I want to review the tenses and their meaning and the probability of the future. So here we have 100%, it's going to happen in the future, and 0. So we have very high probability to no probability at all. Now, what tense do you think would be the highest probability of future? Did you guess right? It's present continuous, the be verb ing. Next, we have future going to, followed by will. Now, on the other side, we have won't and future going to in negative, not going to. And last, with the lowest probability, not, present continuous, be verb, not verb ing. So what do these tenses mean? Present continuous. Well, we use present continuous in planned future arrangements. That means anytime you know the time, you know the place, and the plan was made with more than one person involved. This is why present continuous is the strongest probability for future, talking about the future. So example, he's flying to Chiang Mai on Friday. So we have be verb and verb ing. So we also use it with a very near future. So example, someone asks you in the afternoon, are you coming to the party? And you answer, I'm not coming to the party tonight. So this is a very definite event in the future, but you're still using present continuous to talk about it. So when we're talking about a likelihood in the future, present continuous is the strongest probability. Close to and most common use is the future tense going to. So when we have a planned future, and a future that we have given some thought to. So example, she is going to visit her grandmother this weekend. So we have is, going to, and followed with verb 1. Next, we have future will. So we use this for future that's not planned or has very little thought. My favorite example is the phone's ringing, I'll get it. So the phone's ringing now and I'll get it in a moment. And so there's very little, it's a spontaneous decision. And so usually the big difference between going to and will is the amount of thought and thinking about the future the person has given. So let's look how, you must take vitamins every day. I'll stop at the pharmacy on the way home. So very quick The person probably didn't think about taking vitamins before and now is going to start trying. You could cut down on coffee. I will try drinking 1 cup a day. You shouldn't eat meat. I'm meeting my family at a steak restaurant tonight. So here we have present continuous and telling the person that they're not going to follow the advice because tonight they have plans to go to a steak restaurant. If you sleep 5 hours a night, you could do more work. Here the person uses going to. I'm going to be so tired tomorrow. They're going to follow the person's advice, but they think that they're going to be tired because they're going to follow the advice. Now, I want to go over modals of probability as well to help you indicate whether or not you're going to follow the advice someone gives you. So these are a little weaker than the tenses. The first modal are may and might. Next we have could and couldn't. Weaker, should and shouldn't. Might not and may not. Can and can't. With both have higher probability that will happen and a lower probability that it won't happen. So let's look at their meaning. So we have may and might. When there's some doubt that something will happen or will not happen in the future, we use, so I may go vegetarian. He might not be getting enough sleep. So it's you don't know for sure, and there's some doubt to both these statements. Could and couldn't. We often use when the person is undecided or still considering the advice. So you acknowledge the advice, but you're undecided. So example, you should be healthier. I could exercise more, but it's hard to find the time. So they acknowledge that the advice is good with using could, but may or may not follow the advice because of some problems. Continuing on, should and shouldn't. So people use should and shouldn't to not accept good advice. So we have example, if you eat less snacks, you will lose weight faster. So a first conditional that we talked about in the previous unit. A person responds, you're right, I should, but they are too delicious. So responding to a good advice, but the person is not going to follow it. And the negative, the person offers advice, you shouldn't stress so much. And the person, I know I shouldn't, but my boss demands so much from me. So again, acknowledging the advice that's good, but it tells the person they're not going to follow the advice using should and shouldn't. Can and can't are used similar. People use can and can't to accept or reject advice. Here we have example. You have to try this new yoga class. Sounds interesting. I can go tomorrow. So accepting advice. Rejecting advice. You could try walking in the evening. I can't. I have class at night. So here you absolutely reject the advice. So again, we have our probabilities from high to low probability using the tense and modal. So the highest that you're going to follow through using present continuous. Future going to using can. followed by will, may and might, could and couldn't, should and shouldn't, may not, might not, future will or future won't, will not, and can't, not going to, and present continuous in a negative. So these are used commonly to accept and reject advice. Again, I'm Steve Judge. This was Healthy Lifestyle Living, and these was accepting and rejecting advice. Thank you and have a good day.